If you want to shout out, all you have to do is subscribe and make sure your subscriptions are public. Thank you and stay awesome.
Oh, well, this has been a wild ride, everyone. This is Badger here from Stacks Gaming, and this is going to be the final deck update and what I played in the Stacks tournament. It has been a long journey. Kind of wanted to go back to the week 0 deck build, is kind of like to show where I started and then where I ended up. So, and the tournament was a blast. Thank you to everyone who went out there. Congratulations to the Dino guy. Took me out in a clean 2-1 fashion and ended up winning the tournament. Congratulations. And I'll get you next time. We're 1-1. But yeah, it was fun. This whole challenge has been a blast. And without further ado, let me get into the final build. So, you're going to notice a couple things off the bat. As I was testing, I saw that my control build was doing a lot better than my combo build. But as I played it in the tournament, oh man, I wish I played the combo build. It seemed like it would have been such fun. But overall, the list played out better than I thought it would. We did end up going 1-2 with a bye, so not as great, but I took almost everybody to game 3, so that was an accomplishment in itself. But let's get into the card by card real quick, and then I'll just go over my thoughts of the tournament. So we played the Lunas. We played one of each of the possesseds besides Hida. So I believe if I did the math correctly, the odds of opening up with one were around 80%. I factored in the Spirit Charmers too. I wanted to get a monster with at least 1850 to my opening hand, and there was about an 80% chance or greater that this would happen in the opening 5. So that's why I wanted to play the ratios like this. We play the Retro Dragon for the Red Eyes Insight Mills, and then obviously these two for our Dragoon. And then the Chaos Max was interesting. I challenged Howl to see on his, I believe it was dual power, if he got the Chaos form and the Dark Magician version of this of the ritual, then I would play the Blue Eyes version. And if we were matched against each other in the tournament, the only way that we could beat each other was with these monsters. Lo and behold, he pulled it. So I ended up having to play it. I was debating whether to play this in the main or the side. I figured to play it in the main because these two slots would be an easy side out, just in case I didn't think the Chaos form was going to get there. But we also played 2 of the Awakenings. This was an MVP. This buffing everything was nice. The Red Eyes Fusion, the 2 Insights, the Scapegoat for our 1-card Boral Sword. We never actually got to use it, but it was pretty nice to get the extra monsters out. It did buffer life points a little bit. Our 3 Spirit Charmers, oh man, this ate Ash quite a bit. We played 2 Bottomless, 2 Evac. We played a lot 2 of our normal trap cards because we played the Trap Tricks engine. 3 Crackdown, this was actually pretty nice. The 2-dimensional barrier, 1 of the possessed partnerships. Didn't want to go to 2 on this one because we weren't playing as many of the 1850s. Getting 2 of them in the opening was a considerably lower percentage, so I didn't want to risk opening up more than 1 of these. We have 3 Warning, 2 Torrential, 3 Trap Trick, and the 1 Unpossessed. And then for our side deck, we had 2 Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. This was kind of a cheeky inclusion because I figured if we were playing against another Dragoon deck, I could rip the Dragoon out. I actually almost was able to do this against the Dinosaur player in our match. I believe it's up on the channel, but I believe game 2 was the game where he was determining whether or not to go Anaconda, or I think it was game 3. He was determining whether or not to go Anaconda or I believe it was Dolka. Dolka's the negation one. And oh man, if he had gone Anaconda, I would have been able to rip the Dragoon out. But unfortunately, he went Dolka, which was a great move, and that shut off my little cheeky plan. But we played the Reapers because I also got a copy of Construct, and just in case there was Cyber Dragons, I didn't really have it too many good extra deck targets, so I wanted to include this just in case. Sphere because we hate big boards. Three Cosmic because of back row, just in case there was something like Eldlick. Dark Hole and Raigeki also for the big boards. And then we played a little bit of a field spell package. We played the Grand Spiritual Art, Secret Village, Terraforming, and the Metaverse. I played this because it didn't feel so great going second, but every time I went first, I sided this little engine in. And the Secret Village did help in one of the matches, so that was kind of nice. To a pointer, this was actually really good. I loved this with Traptrek because the ideal opening that I had when building this deck was making the Dragoon, using the Trap Trick for a pointer, and then ripping a card out of their hand. So that way I would have hand knowledge, I have one negate, and they're playing on the back foot. And I actually did get to pull that off, and when I did, it was very strong. So it was a good play. We also have the third barrier because I was expecting a lot of fusion decks. I do know that we have had some invoked Shaddolls running around, and then also just in case there was random XYZ or things that I just couldn't get over that were coming from the extra deck. I wanted to have something prepared for that. And then for our extra, Cherry's target, uh, Big Boss Dragoon, Big Daddy Dragoon, Cherry's target, the Glass Goddess. We didn't actually make her too much. Dreadnoid, tried to make him and did not get the effect through, but it was kind of nice. The opponent read the card and they were like, what? uh, Utopia, of course, the Galaxy Destroyer for our Dreadnoid. The Boral Sword, one copy of the Ahashima, two copies of the Phoenix, two copies of the Unicorn. I was looking at a lot of my extra deck stuff, and there wasn't really anything better to put in here. And then the Link Spider plus the Link Karibo for our one card Boral Sword. And that rounds out the deck list. That's why I played everything. And my matches, the first round was a bye, so I didn't really get to play in that one. The second match, if I remember correctly, was that? I believe that was Dinosaurs. Yeah, that was Dinosaurs. In the first game, in the first game, I did get decimated, I believe. And then the second game was when I was able to pull off the Appointer plus Dragoon combo. And he unfortunately opened a bit of a bricky hand. If I remember correctly, there was things like Dark Hole or Red Eyes, things of that nature. So being able to pick off the one card that helped him start was more than enough to eventually snowball the game out from there. And then game 3, I was getting OTK'd. I had an evacuation device that I was going to try to use on that Dolka, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to survive the OTK in time, and the next card on top was Red Eye's Insight. So I might have been able to mount some sort of comeback, but wasn't able to get there. Dinosaurs too fast, too good. My third round was against Invoked Shaddolls, if I remember correctly. Invoked Shaddolls. I don't know if they were playing Dogmatica. I didn't really see too much of that. But that game, I was able to put up some pressure by cracking down. I drew Crackdown a lot this match, but we cracked down things like Winda, the Construct, the D barrier was helping, but unfortunately, our Red Eyes plays got stopped. Like, I had the game 2 match, or the game 2, I had what is it, the Spiritual Art plus. I had the Spiritual Art up plus one of our 1850s. I believe it was a Hida, and I had Insight in my hand. I didn't want to shotgun it because I knew that they were playing Ash, so I tried to hold the Insight until I could set up this Grand Spiritual Art. So that way, if they Ash, the first one that would resolve gets negated. So my turn comes around. I still have the 1850 monster. I still have the Grand Spiritual Art. I activate Insight. I get the fusion. I activate the fusion, and he ashes it. So I look at my field spell. I'm very happy. I'm like, okay, so I can negate that one if that ends up resolving. He ends up chaining Lancia. He kept Lancia in against me, which I don't know about but it helped so much in that case because the Lancia resolved first, the Ichirin negated it, and then the Ash went through, and my heart sank. Oh, we weren't able to pull Dragoon once in that match, but it was still a fun match. Held on as long as I could, but my opponent played it very well, and props to him. And then the fourth round was against Mutant, which I love that deck. The things that he was pulling off were incredible. I have not seen a deck start with 5 cards, then end up with 15 by the end of the turn. That was something. But I was able to clutch it out. Dragoon definitely carried, and we were able to. What was the name of the card? It was a. There was a Draglubion. Yeah, they were able to use this card, and me and the opponent would stare at each other with it because I would have Dragoon. I can't really target this thing, and I needed to negate something in order to get Dragoon to the 4,000 just to get over this. So, one of the games, I just couldn't get over this thing. But I ended up pulling off the Chaos form into the Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon to eventually get over this Draglubion and win the game from there. So we did get to pull this off. This did actually happen. So definitely happy with that. But overall, I'm happy with how everything went. I do wish I would have seen. I do wish I would have played combo. Why didn't I pull those damn Magista stuff? But overall, it was very fun. This was the deck list that I went with. Thank you to everybody who came out to the tournament. And man, next time I got to go with ice barriers or something. Because I I'm naturally a combo player, so playing this was definitely out of left field for me. But it was a good experience. But all right, everybody, I want to thank you so much. And yeah, I don't know what comes after this. What comes after this? Ow? What comes after this?